Do you want to know how to craft the perfect YouTube title that gets clicks? Well, you've come to the right place, because today we're diving into the very heart of what can make or break your YouTube video's success. The title. Yes, you heard it right. The title. It might seem like a small thing in the grand scheme of your video, but boy, does it pack a punch. It's your first, and often only, chance to make a great impression and draw viewers into your content. It's like the flashy shop window that entices people to step inside and explore. Let's think about it for a minute. YouTube is teeming with content. Hundreds of hours of video are uploaded every single minute. That's a lot of competition. So, how do you stand out in this crowded landscape? Well, one of the key components is a well-crafted, attention-grabbing title. A good title can skyrocket your visibility on the platform. It can increase your click-through rate and overall engagement. It's like a magnetic force, pulling viewers in, making them curious, and prompting them to click on your video instead of the multitude of others. But crafting such a title isn't just about being witty or clever. It's a careful balance of understanding your audience, incorporating the right keywords, and conveying the essence of your content in a succinct, intriguing way. It's an art and a science, and it can take a bit of practice to get it right. Before we dive into crafting that perfect title, we need to know our audience. But why? Let's peel back the layers of this seemingly simple question. Understanding your audience is like having a compass in the vast ocean of content creation. It's your guiding star, the beacon that leads you towards creating content that resonates, engages, and ultimately gets those all-important clicks. It's about getting under the skin of those who watch, like, share, and comment on your videos. You see, every audience has its unique language, its own set of interests, and a distinct set of preferences. These factors collectively shape the way they perceive your content. So if you can tailor your title to align with these elements, you're already halfway to winning the click battle. Let's imagine you're creating content for a tech-savvy audience. You wouldn't want to use jargon that's over their heads, right? Instead, you'd want to speak their language, use terminology they're familiar with, and present your content in a way that piques their interest. The same principle applies to your title. It should be a mirror reflecting your audience's interests and language. Or let's say your audience consists of busy professionals who value concise, to-the-point content. Your title should then reflect that preference. It should be short, snappy, and promise a quick yet insightful watch. Remember, your audience isn't just a statistic. They're real people with real interests, preferences, and habits. If you can tap into these aspects and reflect them in your title, you're setting the stage for a successful video. In essence, knowing your audience isn't just about understanding who they are. It's about understanding what they want, what they need, and how they communicate. And when you know this, you can craft a title that doesn't just catch their eye, but also speaks to their interests, their preferences, and their language. So as we journey further into the world of title creation, let's keep this vital point in mind. Remember, a title that speaks to your audience is a title that gets clicks. Now that we understand our audience, it's time to talk about keywords. But what are they, you might ask? Well, in the simplest terms, keywords are the backbone of any search engine optimization strategy. They're the words or phrases that people are likely to type into search engines when looking for content like yours. Think of it like this. When you're searching for a recipe for apple pie, you're not going to type, "the sweet pastry filled with apples and cinnamon that grandma used to make." No, you're going to type "apple pie recipe." Those 3 words, my friends, are your keywords. When it comes to YouTube titles, keywords play a significant role. They help to increase your video's searchability and visibility. Essentially, the right keywords can make your video pop up in relevant search results, increasing the likelihood of it being seen and clicked on. So, how do you find these magical words or phrases? Well, there are a few ways. You can start by brainstorming words and phrases that are relevant to your video's content. Ask yourself, what would I type into the search bar if I wanted to find a video like this? You can also use tools like Google's Keyword Planner or YouTube's Search Suggest feature. These can provide you with popular search terms related to your video's content. But remember, it's not just about popularity. It's about relevance. Your keywords need to accurately represent what your video is about. Once you've identified your keywords, it's time to incorporate them into your title. But remember, it's not about stuffing as many keywords as possible. It's about creating a title that accurately and compellingly describes your video's content. Let's say you're making a video about easy home workouts. Instead of a title like Workout Home Easy Fitness Exercise, you might go for Easy Home Workouts for Total Fitness. It's clear, concise, and contains your keywords. So remember, keywords are more than just words. They're the keys to unlock the door to increased visibility and discoverability. With the right keywords, your title is on its way to becoming a click magnet. We've talked about knowing our audience and using keywords. Now let's put it all together and craft that perfect title. Creating a title is not just about slapping on a few words and calling it a day. It's a delicate process, a dance of sorts that requires finesse and a dash of creativity. You've got your audience knowledge and your keywords. Now let's forge them into a title that's not only catchy but also clear and concise. The first step is to lay out your main ideas. What's the core of your video? Remember, your title needs to reflect the content of your video accurately. If you're talking about baking a cake, you don't want a title that screams, "How to build a rocket." That's a surefire way to lose trust. Next, sprinkle in your keywords. These are the nuggets that will help your video surface in searches. But remember, don't just cram them in. They need to flow naturally. If your video is about easy chocolate cake recipe, you want those words in your title. But how about spicing it up? Bake your first chocolate cake, easy recipe sounds more inviting, doesn't it? Now let's make it catchy. This is where your audience knowledge comes into play. What phrases or words resonate with your audience? Is it quick and easy, step by step, or maybe no fail? Use these words to grab their attention. But wait, there's more. You also need to keep it concise. YouTube cuts off titles after about 60 characters, so make sure your title gets the point across in that space. Bake your first no-fail chocolate cake, quick and easy recipe. Now that's a title. And finally, don't forget to experiment. Test out different titles and see what works best. Remember, the perfect title is not just about getting clicks. It's about attracting the right audience and delivering on your promise. And there you have it, a title that is ready to rake in those clicks. Before we wrap up, let's go over some common mistakes to avoid when crafting your YouTube title. First, a common pitfall is being vague or generic. If your title doesn't give a clear idea of what your video is about, viewers are less likely to click. Be specific, be clear, and let your audience know what they're in for. Secondly, don't overlook the importance of keywords. Many creators ignore them, thinking that a catchy title alone will do the trick. But remember, YouTube is a search engine. If you're not using relevant keywords, you're making it harder for your video to be discovered. And speaking of catchy titles, remember that there's a fine line between catchy and clickbait. You want your title to be engaging, sure, but it should also be honest. Misleading titles may get you clicks in the short term, but they'll harm your reputation and viewer trust in the long run. Another common mistake is making your titles too long. YouTube cuts off titles after about 60 characters, so if your title is any longer, important information might be hidden from your potential viewers. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Lastly, never underestimate the power of knowing your audience. Don't use jargon or references that your viewers won't understand. Speak their language, cater to their interests, and they'll be more likely to click on your video. To recap, a great YouTube title is clear, uses relevant keywords, is catchy without being misleading, is concise, and speaks to its intended audience. Avoid these common mistakes, and you'll be well on your way to crafting the perfect YouTube title. Remember, the title is more than just a few words at the top of your video. It's a powerful tool that can significantly impact your video's visibility and engagement. So, use it wisely. A well-crafted title can help your content reach more people, engage more viewers, and ultimately achieve more success on YouTube. Remember, a perfect YouTube title is your ticket to visibility, engagement, and success on the platform.